the Bible says that pride comes before destruction. And it took me nearly 40 years to accept that. 40 years to embrace that. It took me all this time for it to just dawn on me. My grandmother told me when I was a teenager, you can't do everything on your own. You can't make things happen by yourself. You're only one person. We were not designed to figure things out. You see, men tend to leave this earth, choosing my words wisely, YouTube. Men leave this life a lot faster than women do because many of us try to figure things out on our own. We don't ask for help. We just go throughout life alone, making things happen until our bodies just give out and our mental health just goes to crap. It's at this point in my life now that I'm realizing that, it's okay to ask people for help. It's okay to say that, I don't have the answer to that. I don't know what that means. I've never heard of that. There's certain things that people will say is common knowledge while others will say it's foreign. A lot of us men struggle with pride issues to the point where we would much rather struggle, much rather fall in ditch after ditch after ditch than to admit, I can't do this right now. Not with the current knowledge that I have. I can't do this right now. Not with the current abilities that I have. Most men are not going to do that. And if that's the case, a lot of us will end up checking out of here a lot more sooner than we could because it just accumulates stress when you're always trying to figure things out by yourself. It took me nearly 40 years to get to the point of reaching out to other men who were in positions that I would like to be in. Nearly 40 years to start building, forging strong bonds and friendships with other men who were in positions that I would like to be in. It took me nearly 40 years to understand in order to elevate, you got to be a student. You got to be in the classroom setting and not standing in front of the chairs, but sitting in the chairs. There's certain things in my life that I'm really good at, and I've had people come to me. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I need your opinion on this. I need your help on that. And I've always put myself in that position of being the teacher, being the provider, being the one that is giving, never looking at myself in the mirror, realizing there's a lot of things that you don't know. And you can keep pretending that you do know. You can keep putting on the front that you do know, but at some point, the kinks in your armor will show. It took me nearly 40 years to realize that my kinks is not so much that I care about it showing. I care more about how it affects me. You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain aspects of my life that I'm not happy with right now. Certain aspects of my life that I'm not satisfied with right now. And because I've created bonds and created relationships with other guys who understand, guys who don't judge, guys who sincerely want to help. I don't know who needs to hear this or not, but fellas, ladies, this could be for you too. There are people in this world who actually want to help you. There are people in this world who actually want to see you succeed, who want to see you get over the hump, who want to see you cross over the bridge, who want to see you make it to the other side, who want to see you cross the finish line. There are people who are rooting for you. It took me nearly 40 years to understand that everybody is not an enemy. Nearly 40 years for me to understand that everybody's not out for me, that everybody's not trying to put a knife in my back, that everybody's not trying to see my downfall. But there's actually people out here that want to see me win. There's actually people out here that pray for me. There's actually people out here that want to teach me. But the pride of a man, the pride of a person leads to destruction. One of the most clearest Bible verses, and if you don't know what that means, and you don't understand it, and you can't comprehend it, what it means is that your pride can put a blindfold over your eyes. Your pride can put chains on your ankles and your wrists. Your pride can keep your mouth shut. Your pride can keep your ears stopped up. Your pride can keep you stagnated and never experiencing growth. And you will self-destruct from your own ignorance. That is what pride before destruction means. But to hear it verbally come out of my mouth, that means that I know that. That means I understand that. That means that I comprehend it. And you know what they say, when you know better, you do better. When you know better, you search. When you know better and you still do wrong, then that's on you. There are literally people in this world who love to be miserable, who love to complain, who love to just wish. And that's it. And they never get any further in life. And they always look at people pass them by. Always looking passing them by. And then talking trash about the people that's passing them by. You ever seen people, hopefully this ain't you, or maybe somebody that you know, you ever seen people that just talk about folks? Just to talk about people? Yeah, such and such just bought them a new truck. They think they somebody. Yeah, she just bought her a new house. I guess she forgot about us. Such and such just got a new promotion. I guess he don't know nobody no more. Like, if you got that mindset, then you love being a victim. And you love being in that poverty line. And you love not succeeding. And you love not learning. And you love not getting ahead. And you can say, no, I don't. Yes, you do. Because if you got time to talk about people, that shows the fruit of your heart. That's what it is. And we can't be that way if we're going to be better. Nearly 40 years it took me to ask for help. Nearly 40 years it took me to say, I don't know. I don't know. Because I had the mindset I didn't want to look weak in front of other men. I didn't want to look weak in front of my wife. I didn't want to look weak in front of my kids. But you know what? We are our own worst enemy, because 9 times out of 10, people don't even look at us the way that we comprehend them to look at us. We look at ourselves like that. We do. Now, there's probably a small percentage of just really egotistical, arrogant people out here that may kick us when we're down. But the mass majority of people in this world actually want to help, actually want to educate. And what I've learned from people who are in high positions, they have been under the mentorship of another who taught them what it is that they know. And to show their appreciation to the person that taught them what it is they know, they want to give that information to somebody else that looks like them. Somebody else who's hungry, somebody else who they see have that eye of the tiger, who they see have a pure heart, who they see have the potential. They want to give that to them so that they can get out of that position and start climbing out and then make it to the surface. And then once they get to the surface, start building the foundation. And once they build the foundation, start building up the tower. And when they start building up the tower, they start building up other towers. And then teaching other people how to do the same thing when they see they were in the position that they were in the past. That is the mentality of the mass majority of successful people. See, I'm a father. And I was talking to my son last night. I was talking to all my kids, but my 18-year-old said something to me last night. And a lot of it is the influence from school. And when I tell you I had to put it on him with this statement, he probably wasn't ready for it. You know what he said? Check this out. Give me your ear. we were talking about Elon Musk, and we were talking about rich people and stuff. And he said, the kids in his school, even his teachers and stuff, think that Elon Musk is ignorant. I said, why? Why? Automatically, when you come up with a why, they're dumbfounded and they don't really know. Other than this is just what other people think of this person. Think that they're ignorant because they can't relate. I'm like, well, you don't know what it took for these people in high positions to get where they are. And then he said, these millionaires, what are they doing with their money? They should just give it to us. And I said, why? Why? Why should they give us money? And I challenged him. I challenged my son because I want him to be a critical thinker. I challenged him. I said, look, son, let's just say you worked hard. You sacrificed. You stayed up late. You ate ramen noodles. You did without. You drank water. You didn't eat out. You didn't go out. You sacrificed to build a business, to build an empire, and you remember all that stuff you went through, and you accumulated an abundance of wealth, right? Would you just want to give that to people who you don't know? Would you just want to give that to people that don't deserve it? You know what I'm saying? Your hard-earned money, would you just want to give it to people just because they said you should give me your money? He said no. I said, so why should he give us money? I was trying to teach him not to have handouts. You know what I'm saying? Don't look for no handout. Give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a week. He'll eat for a lifetime. And I gave my son this question. I said, would you rather somebody give you $1 million, or would you rather somebody give you the blueprint as far as how they became a millionaire? He said, I'd rather them give me the blueprint. I said, exactly, because that $1 million ain't going to last you a lifetime, but if you have the blueprint, son, you can become a multimillionaire. And then you can give that knowledge down to somebody else. You see, it took me 40 years to look at things from a whole nother lens, and not just the same old lens I've been looking at since I was 20. The same old lens I've been looking at since I was 30. The same old lens I've been looking at since I was 35. Here I am, nearly 40 years old this year. Had to change out the lens, had to look at it differently, And I think, something, one of the biggest things I've learned at nearly 40 years old is not to take anything personal. People are who they are, and everybody around us is going through something right now. Everybody has their own story. Everybody has their own path. Everybody has their own journey. We're all going through something of the sort, and we deal with so many personalities every day. You drive past people that are going through things. You walk next to people that are going through things, and just because they may not show it, just because they may not tell it, just because you can't detect it, doesn't mean that they're not going through something. And sometimes people will act out. They'll lash out. They'll say things. And it just goes straight to the heart for us. And we get bitter about it. We get angry about it. And we just take it personal. Remember when I said earlier in this video that it took me all of these years to realize that everybody is not my enemy and that everybody is not plotting against my downfall? Like, that was me taking everything personal. That was me thinking that, oh, you're talking about me, or you're thinking this. Like, it was so bad that I would get into this mentality of literally assuming the thoughts of people about me, and would always draw up this conclusion that it was something bad, something negative. But it turns out that I was wrong. One of my good friends told me, he said, some of the biggest misconceptions, some of the biggest problems that have ever been created was because there was a lack of communication upon two people. No one talks. And when people don't talk, you can only think the worst. I'm telling y'all all this because everybody doesn't get with the program at 25 years old. Everybody doesn't get with the program at 30 years old. Everybody that get with the program at 40 years old. Everybody don't get with the program at 50 years old. Like, everybody manifests in due season. And that the whole objective of outlines, you should be here by this age, you should be there by this age, cut that out of here. Get that out. That's a lie, because nobody truly lives that way. What you know at your age may not be common for somebody that's 25 years older than you or 10 years younger than you. And I've learned that just because somebody doesn't know something that you don't, doesn't give us a right to ridicule them or to tear them apart or judge them or try to look at them as lesser than. It could be a great opportunity to teach. I feel like that's what we should be doing anyway. We should be teaching one another to be better. We should be teaching one another, what it is we know so that they can be better. Like, if you are living your life in a manner that doesn't desire to see people want to be better, I gotta question your morale. Seriously, I gotta question, your motives if you don't want to see people better. Especially if you know better. If you know something that somebody else doesn't know and you withhold that, that's what we call gatekeeping. And culture, they can't stand gatekeepers. They can't stand that logic and that term. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are like that. And regardless of how old you are, it doesn't matter. You're never too old to learn. You're never too old to know things. You're never too old to discover things. If you remain an open book, you can always learn. There are people in their 50s right now in college. People in their 60s right now who made the decision to go back to school. Seriously. There's somebody right now that's 45 years old and ain't got a driver's license and they just not learning how to drive. A lot of people, most society would make fun of somebody like that. Oh, you can't drive? I learned how to drive at 13. Whoop-de-doo, good for you. But your journey is not like everybody else's journey. My journey is not like everybody else's journey. Our journeys are different and we need to respect it. Regardless of where we are, whatever age that you are, it does not matter. It doesn't matter. Let people walk their walk. Let people run their race. And the only thing you need to do is cheer them on. You can do it. You got this. Let me help you. Because there's people out here who are scared to ask for help. There's people out here that don't want other people to pass judgment on them just because they say they can't do something or they don't know something. Let's just be good human beings and sensitive to every situation and act accordingly based on who it is we're dealing with. I want you to comment down below. How old are you? And be bold. Comment something that you don't know and that you're interested in learning. Because there may be somebody in the comment section who sees and says, you know what? Hit me up. I got you. Let's learn together. Take it easy. Peace.